Happy Sunday. Hope you guys are all doing fantastic. I hope you're not too cold because I know it's cold in many, many, many places. Welcome back. We missed last Sunday, but we did go live on Monday. But I want to open a panel up this week. So for everybody that's already been in here saying hello to the chat, saying hello in the chat, thank you for that. Dashing Nebraska with a $20. Great day in Omaha. Hoping you deliver once again on a great live. Listen, brother, I think in the chat you put $300 day so far, or today you made $300. That's fantastic. You're exceeding most drivers' expectations. That's fantastic. I love to see people hustling. You don't have to share that part of that 300 with me, but thank you for that. I appreciate the super chats. Appreciate everybody for showing love and support. If you can't super chat, consider leaving a thumbs up. Listen, we're gonna do an open panel tonight. This is the plan I have. I got a couple stories I want to go over my week, what's coming up, say hi to everybody as well. So if you're here watching so far, hit the thumbs up. Let me know you're in the chat. I'm going to say hi to everybody in just a minute or two. And then I'm going to share the StreamYard link. And if anybody has anything going on, you can definitely, if you got questions, if you got something you want to share, something you're concerned about, you guys can drop that you could come up and talk about that. Pedro, what's good, bro? What's up? Trap to Gigs, what up? But Soda, what up? 2:30 a.m. I'm here, but supposed to be up at 2:30. Oh wow, that's early. You must have some kind of gig. You're doing Amazon Flex or you're doing your W-2. But everybody say what's up to But Soda. He's been a big supporter of the channel pretty much since day one. Gig Adventures, what's up? This ain't hustling apps. Come on, people love to get it orders. That's a lot going on there, but hey, he's hustling. I think so. Hey, looking good. Stud Muffin. Oh, well, thanks, Nick. Appreciate that. Hi, y'all, says Rikina. I'm really bad at saying these YouTube names. Malone Money. What up, Yost? What's up, y'all? About to share some knowledge that was dropped on me. Ooh, I think Yost wants to come up. I'm going to share the link in just a little bit. So hold up, Yost. Love to have you come up on the screen, brother. So happy Sunday. Hope you guys had a great week. My week was pretty solid. Pretty solid. I did not work today. Usually don't on Sundays unless there's a catering or something else going on. I did do one catering yesterday. I made a video about it. $54 catering. Took me 1 hour from when I left the house to when I got back. Exactly an hour, almost to the minute, to the second. So that was fantastic. And then we worked, Monday through Friday, basically. Still had a lot of the streets impacted by the snow that we got last weekend. Earnings were just a slightly better than normal because of the weather. Had a couple days where the peak pay was good, like Monday, Tuesday, but I didn't make a lot. I didn't make significantly more money because of the weather that we had, right? I think overall the volume was about the same, but I did not see a lot of, great catering last week. Didn't have any big Instacarts. I didn't have any crazy bangers on any of the apps, really. A couple of really solid ones that were good. So earnings were solid, a little bit above my average, but nothing, nothing to write home about. I'm seeing some people have pretty good weeks this week, which is good. We're heading into February, right? Today's February 1st. We're heading into Valentine's week in a couple of weeks. We're heading into the time where it starts, some people think or feel like January is kind of slower. And historically in the restaurant industry and with people spending, it kind of is. But the economy in some ways is on the rise, depending on what and who you listen to. So I think February for a lot of us, depending on the apps that you have, and I know some people will say it's market dependent, I think February is going to be good. My prediction is going to be a strong earnings month for the full timers out there. I think if you're part time, it's harder to judge that because the amount of hours that you're doing it is different, and there's a lot more fluidity there. It's more fluid. But I think February is going to be good. I really do. And I think the people that have set themselves up in a position with their apps and their adaptability, I think February is going to be a stronger month than most will think. And I'm excited to say that. And I think when we look back, when I do the first live in March, I think we're going to see that. I really believe it. I really, really, really believe that. So to each his own. You have your own personal experience. I don't want to take your lived experience, because if your lived experience is negative right now, all I can say is, hey, I feel you, I hear you, but it does not have to be that way. Let me say hi to everybody in the chat before we get too far along. Let me go right up at the top. Once again, Dash Nebraska, thanks for that $20, man. I see Mufasa in here. What's up, new subscriber? PPP. I see my man Cheeky. What up? What up, Blue? Bluesmon Slayer. What up, Cheeky again? Dash in Nebraska. I see Trap to Gigs, Bud Soda. Gig Adventures 8165, Arkina, Nick, Malone, Mr. Anderson. Does the glitch still work, Pedro? Great question. I'm going to put this up on the screen. It does situationally. There are times that I'm currently using it and I do not get the text notification saying you missed a delivery, meaning then your AR won't go up, right? But there are times when I'm working and I don't want to see an order because I just use it not when I'm at home, not when I use it when I'm working and I wait for the notification. If the merchant looks good and I feel like I want to look at it, I'll look at it. There are times that it still does work. About half the time it does, half the time it doesn't. Use that and take that information for what it's worth. W2, you got W2 says Bud Soda. Okay, he answered that question. All right. Antonio, what up? But Valentine's Day is going to be lit. Yeah, I think so. I the money can be there. Stop looking to use the glitch. Been proven to not really matter if you actually multi-app in a day. I think, but sort of good point. I think depending on how you and how often you use it, I think if you're at the 49% or 69% and you want to get to the next tier situationally, it can be beneficial from a scheduling aspect point, and other reasons depending on your marketplace. But at the end of the day, it can still work for some, and I've heard people have success with it, so nothing wrong with sharing that. Mr. Anderson, all right. Please go live so we can hold discussions about the glitch in all things. What up, mindset? What up, bro? How you doing, man? How you doing? Good to see you, brother. Thanks for being this channel member. I think I said hi to everybody that's in here. If I missed somebody, drop a hello in the chat. I see a BH Junior too. Hey, Pedro, what up? What up, BH? Fatin HB, what up? Hi, everyone. Hit that thumbs up. Appreciate y'all. So momentarily, I'm going to share the link. Tonight is kind of like a discussion. What do you guys have going on? Anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to share? A good experience, bad experience. I did share a video. I did make a video today about the New York City over $5 million settlement fund that's going to go into the workers fund, basically for New York workers. There's a lot of laws that were passed in New York City, not the whole state, but just the city. Okay, because the way workers do work out there, Uber, DoorDash, all those, it's a completely different world. And unless you've worked it, you don't know, or unless you've been there and seen how the people, I have some connections in New York. I've been there. I've seen how the men and women work. I know a lot of gig workers in New York. It's different out there. Their experience and what they have to do with is different than most of us. Okay? So I made a video talking about that. Go check it out. Came out today at 5 o'clock, whatever time that is for you. And it's interesting because the mayor out there is really for gig workers' rights and all that stuff. And regardless of how you look at things politically or what side you're on, it's not about that necessarily. I'm going to stand by anybody, regardless. I don't care who you are, what you look like, what you stand on. If you're trying to better make the lives better of gig workers and your constituents, like the people that voted you in, like I am for that. And I can forget or forgive everything else. Gig work is what we do. It's what most of you do, whether you're part-time, full-time, doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. If you've done it for a day or you do it for 10 years, you're a gig worker. And I think we have to stand by our fellow drivers. So when I see positive stories like that, and I see people at a press conference talking and they're happy because they fought for something and they feel like they won, I think that's a good thing. I think it's actually a fantastic thing. So that's one of the stories we can get into a little bit about that. But Soda, I would respectfully disagree. The California stuff that has gone into effect, I know California or Colorado drivers out there, they're not making more money in Colorado. But what we have in other states, it gives people protections. It keeps people employed. It keeps people with an opportunity. It gives you medical stipends. It gets you. It's vastly different. So I think we have to take the thought process of I don't like this person because they're this political party, and we have to just look at the facts of it. And the facts of it is not the stuff. What's going on in Colorado is not making drivers more money. Period. Full stop. It's just not. So okay. I know you don't have to like the guy, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. And I stand by gig workers. I don't stand by politicians. So I'm happy that anybody's doing something for gig workers that are marginalized and people that don't have a voice. I'm gonna always stand by that. We can agree, disagree. That's my stance. I take a full stop on that. That's where I stand on it. At the end of the day, I think we need more of that. I think we need less bootlicking for billionaires. What's interesting? the guy that we're talking about, the mayor out there, I'm not an advocate for him, but what's interesting is tens of millions of dollars were spent by DoorDash and Uber to not have that man elected. Why do you think that is? Tens of millions of dollars paid by the gig apps so they wouldn't get in office because they know if he wins, he's going to come after us and hold us accountable. That should tell us everything we need to know. Okay, who else we got up here? Kevin, what up, bro? Gig work is good work, says St. Pete. What up? All right, everybody hit that thumbs up. I'm going to share the link now. I'm not going to keep you guys hostage. I'm not going to hold you hostage. Hit that thumbs up. Appreciate y'all for stepping on in. And let me go ahead and share that right now. Hold up 1 second. Tonight's kind of an open topic. I want to bring 1, 2 people up at a time, depending on how many people we have waiting in the queue or backstage, and we'll see how tonight goes. Plan on being on for an hour, so maybe a little bit longer if people are still wanting to come in and talk about whatever they got going on, what's going on in your marketplace, questions, comments, concerns, whether you're new, old to the channel. Everybody's welcome here on this channel. All right. Ooh, uh-oh. I did not mean to do that. Oh, no. Ooh, I almost messed up. Hold up. Copy. There we go. All right. What up? TX Kiddo 11. Appreciate that, man. Good to see you. All right. I'm going to go ahead and pin this as well. So it's in the link should be right there. I'm going to go ahead and pin it for you guys as well. Okay. So that way it stays up at the top of the screen. So anytime that you come in, if you're watching, if you see that pin link up at the top, or if you're watching now and you're not ready to come in, but you want to come in a little while, it's going to be right up at the top, pinned for you to come on in and talk about whatever you got going on, a topic you want to get my opinion on, something that you got going on, a pressing issue, a positivity story. Maybe you had a great week and you want to talk about that. Maybe something happened in the gig economy, you want to talk about that. All right, 1 second. Boom. Let's put that on. Let me find it real quick. There we go. All right, let me pin it. Let me find it and pin it. Mark's Hammer Travel, Mark Ham Travel, and Cop Watch. That's a mouthful. What's up, man? How you doing? All right, let me pin this up at the top. If I can click on it here. There we go. Pin message. So it is pinned up at the top. They tried to get Cuomo. Yeah. Cuomo wasn't gonna win, bro. He had all kind of things with some ladies and all that kind of. All right. Massive layoffs. Instead of applying for unemployment, people are entering the gig economy to earn instant money, Pedro. Same thing. Yeah. A lot of people, a lot of people are coming in. This line of work has a low barrier of entry, especially the main apps. To get on some of the other apps that might make you more per gig, it's harder to get on because there's a wait list, or it just takes longer, or there's more steps, or you got to have certification, or the process isn't easy. DoorDash and Uber Eats are very easy to sign up for. Spark, Instacart, Roadie, pretty easy too. The catering apps, they take longer to get on, as they should. There's not as much volume and demand, so they don't need as many drivers. DoorDash needs drivers. I don't care what anybody said. Like, we don't like to take the trash, and you shouldn't. So they need somebody to do it. So they need to keep bringing people on. Plus, a lot of the new people that come to DoorDash, they come because they're just looking for something for a week or two. I was watching a video. There was this guy that said he was so broke, he didn't have anything to eat. Like, he was down bad, but he had a car, he had an automobile, and he was sitting in his car. He's like, I got to feed me and my kid. So he signed up for DoorDash. He got on, and the next day, he worked one day just to make money to put food in his fridge, and he never did it again. There are thousands of people that do that. I've heard there's even people that do that to get an app, to get an account, and then just steal food to eat. People get desperate when times are tough, and they'll do anything, right? Whether it's deliver food, steal food, like, it's a thing, right? So these numbers that DoorDash reports and the saturation and like seeing this and being in your car sometimes and saying, man, I'm not seeing anything. And yesterday I just had a great day. Sometimes people just come on unexpectedly, and then there's more people, more fishermen at that same pond that you go to. And one day you go to the pond and you're able to get 5 fish. The next day you get 1 or 2. The difference sometimes is they just let so many people on because they want things delivered quickly, and they know the new drivers will take the trash sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, I see Manny back there. I see Bud Soda. I think I see somebody else. I see Kevin. I see Yost. All right, I'm gonna bring Yost up first, real quick, because Yost was the first one asking for it. So you guys just hang out for a minute. I'm gonna bring Yost up, then I'll kind of populate you guys in for a minute as well. I'm gonna bring my man Yost up in the mix here. Yost, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up? I didn't know I was gonna be the first one. That's
Hey,
good.
why
Thank you.
not, man? Hey, how are you,
Thank
man?
you. I'm good, man. I'm chilling, just doing my thing. Making money like always.
I love when you come on because your backdrop is amazing. I love the basement, man. I just
Yeah, that baseball collection. Got to show that off a little bit.
it looks has it grown since the last time you've been on or not? It looks a
Yes, it
okay.
has. It's grown a lot. I only have two more teams to get that have played the Royals at Kauffman Stadium for my lineup card collection. I only have two more teams.
Who are they?
The Padres and the Mets, and the Padres will be here July 17th, 18th, and 19th. I don't care what's happening. I'm gonna be at the stadium.
I love that, man. I love that. And then the Mets, they're not going to come in town
Nope,
next year. Okay,
2027 is when I have to get that one, and that collection is complete.
that's going to be amazing, man. I can't wait to see that. That's awesome. So, what do you got on your mind tonight, man?
So, you know what's coming up, tax time. And
Yes.
so, yes. And for those of us who are with Solo, definitely use Solo for your taxes.
Yep.
So basically, this was about the no tax on tips. There was a young lady I work with. I was out one night working, and she saw me going into this um I'm trying to say Asian restaurant. I'm trying to make sure I say the political correct term.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Hey," I was like, "Oh my gosh, you do gig work?" Because she has a job that's a little upper than mine with like systems and stuff. So I was like, "It's for everybody. It doesn't matter how much you're making. People are out here.
True.
You can't really judge a book by its cover, but." We chat every so often about different things. I put her on Spark, and she made like $1,000 her first week, and
Oh
she
wow.
stopped doing DoorDash. She stopped doing everything else and just focused on Spark now. And I was like, whoa! But I won't bury the lead anymore. Basically, you know how the no tax on tips is a thing. She told me that she asked her accountant, and you can put all your tips from Spark on the spreadsheet, and they'll accept it, so we can get that deductible. And I don't know if people knew that because I straight up didn't know that. I thought that was pretty interesting.
No, yeah. So I haven't done my taxes yet. It's interesting you mention it because I got one of my little phone. Some companies we work at still do it this way. They send you the old
Yep,
like and in most of them, I'm still kind of they do them within the app or they email
yep.
them. I'm still waiting on two. I don't know about you, but I'm still waiting on February 1st. So from what I understand, when you do your 1099, there are spots to put in how much of the income was tips, right? So let's say you made $50,000 total and let's just say 30,000 of that was tips, right?
Mm-hmm.
All that I think you can deduct up to 25,000 if is that the
Yes,
number, right?
yes,
So you wouldn't be able to get the deduction for all the 30, but you're basically your taxable income would decrease by 25,000, right?
correct.
So if you
Yep,
made 50,000, you're only going to get taxed on the 25 is from my understanding.
yep.
um, I'm not sure if the mileage tax stays the same or if that
I
other
think
people
it's
might use
70
the
cents a
mileage.
mile now.
Yeah, 70. So you can use that. Other people they might do an itemized and not
Yep.
do the standard deduction. Everybody will have a personal, your preference might be different there. But from the couple people I've talked to that have already done their taxes, they did see a benefit from it initially.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a win for us right
It
now.
is.
Yeah, yeah,
And with that, because Spark, I don't know if you got, we all know the story on Spark with you, but
yeah,
Spark didn't separate it. Uber Eats did. On, if you look through, I had to find it, but Uber Eats separated everything out for us,
yeah. So
which was,
If Spark doesn't separate it, how are we to find what? Maybe you mentioned it and I missed it. How are you to find that? You're gonna have to go back
you
to
have to go
week
back
by week.
through every order starting January. So the way it cut off was January 1st was during the week of that last week of December. So you need to go back from there till December 31st of 2025 and put it in a spreadsheet. And I put in a spreadsheet with my order numbers so that way if they audit me, they can't say, "Oh, you made these up." I'm like, "No, it matches the totals."
So hold on
Because
though. If from what I remember on the Spark app, didn't it? If you looked at your weekly earnings, didn't it?
it does break it down.
It does break it down. So you can go week to week, and if you made
Yeah.
700 one week, it'll say 400 in tips. Can't you just take the 400 and then add each? You can just go week by week like that, right?
You can.
Yeah.
I'm I'm a little leery of the government sometimes, and so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want to make sure I don't have to do every penny. You can do like it's because say confirmed trips, confirmed earnings of $200, and they'll say confirmed tips of say it was $200. You can do that, and that's fine. But I want to have it to where if there's no deniability that all my
yeah,
money's there, I everything's accounted for. But you
yeah,
can do that, and that does make a huge difference on the income that's to be taxed. And so,
yeah,
since
yeah,
Uber did it, DoorDash, I tried to find it. Supposedly, DoorDash is supposed to send us another item to show the separation of it. The Spark straight up didn't do it, which to me, Spark was my most earned app
most
this
earned
year.
app. Yeah, yeah,
And I want to make sure I save as much money as I can if it's
yeah,
such a huge benefit to where
yeah.
I'm putting. I'm halfway through the year now in June. I just started this project like last week, so I'm
Okay,
not gonna
okay.
file my taxes until March. But
Yeah,
I want to make sure everything adds up correctly to where when I send to my tax professional, they're like, "Oh wow, you put some work into this," because it's gonna
yeah,
matter.
yeah.
That's I usually owe like 1,300. I may not owe that this year, so
Well, and I think that's obviously fantastic, right? And for me, I have somebody do mine for me as well. It's just better. It's just easier for me that way. Mine's not too difficult, but I trust somebody and spend a little bit of money to get the maximum benefit, right?
yep,
So for me, it's worth it. But what's interesting is it's capped at 25,000.
correct,
So
yep,
if you're a part time gig worker, most part timers probably aren't going to reach that amount, right?
no,
So if you're only working, if you're not going to reach that, but you can. That doesn't mean you can't still deduct the 5,000 in tips you made, right? That's still
hmm
relevant, right? But I think what's interesting is because we're talking about if you got 6 or 7 apps like a lot of full timers do. Let's say you made 25,000 in tips from just Spark app, you'd stop there. You wouldn't
hmm
have to look at the other apps, right?
yeah,
Because it wouldn't matter. You don't have to, you wouldn't get that deduction. It doesn't mean that your earnings would change, your total earnings would change, but
no,
you don't, the line that you put it in, because there is a line from my understanding, you wouldn't, you can't go past 25,000. Does that seem
yeah,
like it's accurate?
yeah,
Yeah.
and my thing is now since depending on how we'll see if you have another meeting and if you have another live in March, I'll tell you how it goes. But
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know depending on what happens, I was thinking, wow, if I can get say I make 25 grand, if half of it can be tax free, why not keep doing this until that runs out, because that's free money that you can invest. Or I know I'm going to probably
Yeah.
need another car soon.
Yeah.
That's his money that can make your personal finances a lot better. I'm
Yeah.
almost retired from the gig apps, but now not to go out as much,
Yeah.
luckily. But if I can now use that money towards actually putting something away or going on trips or going to baseball games or something, I just was like, I want to make sure I tell people it's like you can use a spreadsheet. It is okay. Spark unfortunately didn't separate it, and I was
Yeah.
like Uber Eats did. I didn't make very much on Expedite or
Yeah.
Instacart or anything, so I'm not going to put those in. But
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
want people to know there's other options for you since they didn't do the app. He's got to put a little work in, but it's going to definitely be worth it.
I love that, man. I love that information too. I want to share this comment from Bobby. I filed my taxes already. The 25K made a huge difference. Cut my
Yep.
taxes almost in half. So at the end of the day, listen, we all pay taxes. We pay sales tax, property tax. Whatever. Some of us are gonna have to pay the government after we do our taxes with the gig work. Some of you guys, because technically, if you're 1099, you're supposed to pay your quarterly taxes
Yep.
what you think you would pay, and if
hmm
you overpay or underpay, then at the end they see the difference, right? But what's interesting here is that half is a big deal for a lot of us,
Yes,
right?
it
So
is.
let's say if it's $1,000 or $2,000, if the check you have to write is almost half the amount, that's a win. For some of us, that might be a week or two's worth of earnings. It
Exactly.
might allow you to do something else or invest or take a trip or take the wife out or so that's a good thing. And taxes is always interesting because it's such a personalized thing. The way
Yeah, it
I do
is.
mine might be different than Bobby or Yost. If you're married or you're single, are you filing jointly? Do you have kids? Do you have dependents? Do you have a place that you're renting? And if you're a YouTube content creator, you can take a percentage of your rent if you have a studio and put that's tax deductible. If you don't do the standard mileage and you go itemized, like there's so many different ways of doing it. So I try not to give advice, but I think this clear cut $25,000 tax deduction is it seems to be a win so far from the people I'm talking to.
And you know, it was. I won't keep you too much longer. I know you got a lot of other people coming up, but thank you
No, you're
for
good.
letting me on. But
Yeah.
you know, I think the part was there was some confusion up front, and they said delivery drivers weren't a part of it.
Hmm.
And you're like, yes, they are. We're right here in the gig economy. It's a big thing. People, a lot of people are in the gig economy right now, and it's a huge thing. I don't think it's gonna go away. I think things will adjust. Apps will fold. New apps will come in, things will morph. AI will do some of it, and you know,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's going away. And if you can like adapt, like you've been preaching for the last couple of years, always
Yeah.
adapt. It's definitely going to make a difference. I have to watch my times when I go out now. Certain apps just don't hit on some days, and so
Yeah.
that's all to say. But I just want to make sure people know you can do a spreadsheet for Spark or whichever app didn't separate it, and that's okay with your tax professional if they know what they're doing. If they said no, you can't do that, find somebody else because you can't
Yeah.
do it. It's a legal thing. You're not making up anything. It's just help your taxable income go down. That's what billionaires do. That's how the rich stay richer. And so,
Absolutely, absolutely. Because like I said, we pay in taxes. All of us pay taxes at some point,
yep.
right? Some of us are paying. I have a city tax here in St. Louis, right? We pay a city tax. We pay the state tax. They're trying to actually get rid of the state income tax in Missouri.
Yes, I saw that.
You see that? Yeah.
I
Because
and my thing is me, I'm a little weird on taxes. I feel since I live in America, we should pay a flat tax and that's it. But the system's not like that. The government already knows what we owe. It's just,
yes,
oh,
they
like,
do.
let me find what loophole to not make money. Literally, billionaires are not paying as much as we are. We're paying a lot more than what a lot of those rich folks are
Based on
doing.
a percentage of our earnings, it's crazy.
It is
Yeah, you're right.
crazy.
Yeah.
And so, but anyways, I'm not going to get more on the tax thing. I made a joke earlier that said I somehow owed Israel 2 grand. I was being silly.
You're not wrong though. Probably.
Anyways, that's my time. Hey y'all, keep watching Pedro. Let's get him to 100K.
Hey
And
man, I appreciate you, brother, man. I got to connect with you soon, man. Thank you so much for coming on and
well,
dropping
I'll
this,
come. I'm
dropping
come
that
to the Lou
knowledge.
this year a couple of times, so I'll
Yes,
see you.
sir. Yes, sir,
All
man.
right,
Thank
y'all.
you, man.
Peace out.
All right, brother. Shout out to Yost Malone in the house, dropping that valuable tax information. I haven't talked about it here because I haven't done my taxes yet. I literally just got this is my. I can show you guys this one. I'll hide the address. This is my roadie one right here. Right, I got that in the mail yesterday. Right, and I'm still waiting on. I got them written on the back. I'm still waiting on two of my 1099 and 1090Cs to come in and get that information so I could have all that. And I'm pretty much done. I in my mind, I already know what my tax information will look like. Probably I'm just probably off just by a couple $100. Because I know the ones that I'm missing. I know what those earnings are. So and I made more than 25,000 in the in tips this year, well over that. So I already know what that numbers is. So all right, let's bring Man. I see. So who's still waiting? Manny, but Soda, and I see Kevin. I'll bring three of you guys up together. Why not? Let me bring my man Manny up. Manny's got the fresh hat on tonight. What's up, Manny? How are you, man?
How you doing, man? How everybody doing,
I'm
man?
blessed, man. Good to see you, man. Good
Happy
to see you.
Happy New Year to everybody. I hope
You too, man.
everybody's having a good gig year.
Let's bring Bud Soda in. Bud Soda, what's up, brother?
What's
What's good,
up?
bud, soda?
Hey, Manny.
And we got Kevin Mango, the sergeant at
Oh,
arms. What's up,
Kevin,
What
it's
up,
been a
Kevin?
minute.
How are
Kev?
you?
Hello.
We got a couple OGs. Bud Soda and Kevin been rocking with me since just about day -1 since the beginning. So I'll start with mindset, Manny. Manny, what do you got going on in the gig world? How you feeling? Anything new happening with you? Give us an update, man. What's up?
So yeah, man. The year's been okay. It's very interesting. I don't hear anyone making videos about it. I don't hear anyone talking about it, man. You put it out there, it's out there, but I don't think anyone is utilizing the glitch really.
Mm,
I'm being honest with you. I busted wide open since we talked about it.
okay.
So I have a lot of good information about the glitch.
Meaning that you've
I
used it is what you're saying.
used it. It is a part of my data. It is what I do.
So let me ask you a
I
question. Let me ask you a question. And we didn't talk beforehand about this. I knew you knew about it. Has it helped you, hurt you, or have you
And
not
that's
seen
what I
any
want,
impact?
and that's what I want to talk about. Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and talk about that.
One thing no one else is talking about too, the whole DoorDash has changed. And
Mm.
no one is talking about it. DoorDash has completely changed. It's changed everything. You could get the distance in which you get deliveries now is way further. No one's talking about the amount now. Holy crap. I see a way difference in the amount. The amount the DoorDash sends me now is crazy. I get $40 offers, $30 offers, $35 offers on DoorDash. You know, it's like what? 40, $55 offers to the point where it's rivaling expedite.
So are you seeing that? Are you seeing that now because your
Are
AR
those
is higher?
stopped?
I didn't hear you. Say it again.
Are you seeing those bigger ones because you think your because your AR was always kind of high, right?
Yeah, but okay,
Yeah.
I didn't want to. I'm just explaining just these little things first. I didn't want to get into that. I'm just saying that no one's talking about how the app has changed. The app has completely changed. You can the on time thing. You can dispute that.
Yeah, I
You could
talked about
dispute
that.
though, and you could keep it at 100, easy.
Yep. Yep.
Um, um, like I was saying, your zones, the way they work now has changed. You have to go back and study and redo everything again. I don't know what everybody, that's what I've been doing that the entire time. I've been doing that this whole time, studying it. So getting into the glitch. Yes, the way the glitch really works, there's a couple of ways you could use it, but I've noticed the best way you can really utilize it is to do homework at night. Like right now, I will be glitching. And what it does is it keeps your AR extremely high. No one knows this, but yes, you can go all the way down to like a 40%, 30% and still be a platinum. But
You
it
can't.
does.
There are some markets where you don't have to be 70% plus. There's a point
No, I
system.
just said you
Yeah.
can you
Yeah.
can you can go all the way down. No, it's not even a market thing now. It's a point thing. It's all over everywhere. This is not a market with this part. With this part, as far as the point system, it's everyone. You can if all your other metrics are 100 or at least like 98, 99, you could be like a 35% AR and still be platinum. But what I learned is it's still like you get the trash still. It'll be the higher your AR, the better you see. Now, believe this or not, I glitch, so I know I've let it go all the way down, and I've worked it all the way back up. I've glitched it. I've done it all the ways. Listen, the orders. I don't know, because I've seen a couple of people that did do it, and they say, "Wow!" And you can see on there that like I've gotten $100 order on DoorDash.
Yeah,
I've gotten $100 order
you never seen that before,
on
have you?
DoorDash.
And you had never seen that,
So
right?
in it, 100. Have you gotten
I,
$100 order on DoorDash?
One time, once or
yeah.
twice, maybe. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
That I'm like,
It's not
what?
common. It's not common.
But
Yeah.
I've gotten a 77, a 79. I've gotten an 80. Since these last weeks, I've seen consistent 55 and 49, and like,
Manny, may I ask what
yeah,
type of orders they typically are?
Yeah. What are
okay.
they that you're getting?
They're mixed. Oh my God, like it mixed. So they between liquor and like another, like a fancy restaurant. So it'll have to be like the liquor and a fancy restaurant combined going to the same customer. I've
So
seen big ones like
yeah,
that. Okay.
so shops
Pizza,
and
pizza,
on-demand catering.
pizza. Now through the catering program, DoorDash's catering program is just like Expedite right now. It is not a
Yeah,
joke.
field drive
They
system.
they get big. You get big ones. Like it's not a joke. Like $66, $70 catering orders through
Yeah.
DoorDash.
That's because the RMDA with Jackrabbit got kicked, so a lot of the volume got kicked to DoorDash in
It's
between the other catering apps.
so what I'm saying to you is I don't and I'm like I was saying, I'm not trying to get. It's like it has changed. With the glitch, people don't understand this. It takes all your complaints away. It takes all. I cannot complain. Why? Because I'm not. I don't take I don't take $7 orders.
Let me. So Manny's dropping this info, and I know Bud Soda and Kevin been watching for a while. They know about the glitch. Isn't brand new. It's just been reintroduced because it went away. Now it's kind of back. I want to get Bud Soda's take on. I don't know if Bud Soda's still doing the gig work stuff. I know, but
Yeah,
I want to get your take on it
I
because I know
am.
you're. Okay,
I'm
so
not on most of the on-demand apps anymore. That's why I was like saying the Colorado law is great because at least you can have a human look at your accounts and get them to.
Today I did $280.
and
Nice.
hold up, Manny, hold on. I want to hear from Bud Soda real quick. So you're talking about the deactivation policy stuff, Bud Soda?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
the background checks and deactivation policy. At least you can get a human to do it. And you're not necessarily going to
That's
make
good.
more
That's good.
money, but there's
Yeah.
also no ceiling. You can multi-app more. If you get deactivated off your highest value map, let's say that's DoorDash for you in your area,
Mm-hmm.
you have a chance to get back on. Like it's not like you're, you know, facing, oh, I'm like up against an AI wall or I can't get a response for 6 months like I had before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I do mostly roadie now. Like I do a lot of last mile delivery and because almost everyone's afraid of doing 30 pounds plus up here unless it's Walmart for some weird reason. And it's just for me that's just where I go. So mostly Track Supply, some Home Depot, some Lowe's, One Rail.
Yeah.
I did a lot of those today. Like I had one kind of go bad on me because I had sheetrock and I didn't want to tie it down in case it
I've
cracked.
never done
And
a one rail. I've seen them. I've never done a one rail on roadie.
yeah,
I never haven't, and probably won't ever because they never looked like they were
yeah.
good for me.
So like the only ones you got to watch out for there, I barely see them anymore.
Mhm.
Is like it'll say 48 inches or less. They're lying. It's usually something huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, like it's like Walmart on roadie. You've done those where dimensions can just be slightly off and it can
Yeah.
screw you if it's close, you know.
Yeah.
And otherwise have some straps or something, you know. It's a tax write off. But I think that transparency is the way to go. There's no reason on these apps we shouldn't see what the items are that the customer's ordering. And just for that reason, we can see, oh, it's a 75-inch Vizio TV and the app says it's 72. Oh, I can fit a 72, but that extra 3 inches screws me, you know? So
Yeah.
stuff like that. And but like otherwise, I just think that gig work, I really recommend mixed model. Don't ever quit your job for anyone in this chat who just does it part-time and like, wow, I make great money because you kind of figured it out how to do it on the weekends. But as far as weekends warriors here, I'm having issues with them
Mm-hmm.
because they tend to give staff a hard time. So unless the people know me, they can be a little apprehensive towards gig workers again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been rough. And then they kind of screw me on like they'll take that one order that's going the same direction as a possible stack because Brody's a stacking app. And now it makes no sense and I can't go do it. And if I try to wait for it to go up, someone will take it as an undervalue anyway. You know, it's
Yeah.
like,
You know what? You know what's funny, Bud Soda, and I want to get to Kevin in a minute too. I picked up and Manny, I don't know if you have roadie. Do you have roadie?
No,
Okay,
just
so
expedite, Instacart, and DoorDash,
and DoorDash. So
and I'm waiting on
roadie's
Spark.
interesting. It's a good filler app. I do a lot of CVS pharmacy pickups, and an order popped up, a route popped up, and it was a little circle. And basically, it'll have a circle and a number. In the number was 2. So I look at both of the gigs, and they're both paying $10 and some change 1 mile. And I'm like, huh. So I put a bid in for both of them because I'm like, I'm going to get one of these, right? Bud Soda knows exactly what I'm talking about here, right? So I get the one, offer accepted, $10, 1 mile, right? And I go to the CVS pharmacy. I get there, and about 2 minutes later, somebody else got the same $10 1 mile. And I didn't pay a lot of attention to where they were going. It was going to the same customer. So me and this guy picked up one bag of pharmacy and had to drive it separately to the same woman's house at the same exact time. why wouldn't that just be $21 and have one of us do it? You know what I mean? It's a very strange. You know, Bud was talking about
Yeah.
roadie and stuff,
Oh
and it just
yeah.
reminded me of that.
Or why didn't they just give you them the both as the same driver, which makes no sense at all. It's like I've
It's
had that
weird.
happen so many times. It's like
Yeah,
when someone's double dash gets split up. I'm sure you know that without that, Manny. Like you
yeah,
got their convenience store beer order and the other person got the restaurant order. So it is like that. But I did want to talk a little my W-2. I did change up the company I'm working for. Now I'm working more toward Utica Rome region, like I was saying in the chat earlier. I've been working out in negative temps all week last week. It was pretty brutal Friday because that wind picked up and I
yeah,
literally got frostbite. That was not fun. My feet are still hurting. I got to go out to work tomorrow morning. And the refill every morning is still single digits. So it's still going to be rough.
yeah.
But otherwise, it's hard work, but I enjoy it. I enjoy the men I work with. I do recommend that, like, you guys look at gig work a little differently because I went back to a hard labor job and maybe see how blessed you really are. If
So let me
you are,
ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. So you're somebody for a number of years. You were full time gig work, hustling, making. You know, had big lofty goals for you. Are you enjoying doing it this way now, having a W-2 full time work and then mixing in a gig economy? Have you
yeah,
found that to be more beneficial for you?
yes, yeah,
Okay.
because the gig economy, especially like the January slowdown, really slowed down. And really, I fought it for way too long because I
Yeah.
lost some of my big apps that really made me money. And I
Yeah.
was like, I can't keep doing this. So I went back to a W-2, went back to my former. Well, for a little while, I went back to retail because I was desperate. But like then I went back to my former profession and I'm getting years in. If you're in at least 10, I don't know if I'm gonna make it that long, but what I'm trying to do is get in a pickup truck and do the ground work part time. The other time I'm knocking on people's doors, convincing them to let them cut their trees down. and you know, so I'm hoping to do that because I am getting old. But
Yeah.
like if you guys see 6 cases of water on something, please don't complain. Do the work because I do way harder work every single day, and
Yeah.
I'm out
Well, yeah.
negative 10. So like
Yeah.
you don't know how good you got it. I saw someone on Facebook the other day. They got a Walmart Spark. It paid $62. Had 6 cases of water, 4 bags of dog food, some kitty litter, and a cat food.
Whew.
And it's like, do you know how good that really is? Because it was like for 13 miles or something really short for a .com run.
How much was it paying?
$63 for a 13-mile .com run.
Yeah, I'll do
But
that.
they
Yeah.
don't know how good they got it. That's all I'm trying to say, and I'm trying to tell you guys that. Like, yeah, there's no tax on tips, but any of you who do it full time or hustle
It
really
depends
hard
on how
part
it's
time like I do, like you're gonna run right in that $25,000 barrier real quick.
Yeah,
Originally it was supposed to
if
be
you're full
50
time,
grand.
if you're full time, that's like an app or two, and it's not going to be difficult to do that. But
Yeah.
you know what I like about panels like this is we have, somebody like me that has like a couple different ways of making money, and you got Manny's hustling right now in the gig economy. I see Manny having more success now than he did 2 months ago, 3 months ago when he came on the channel,
Oh
right?
yeah,
And
I
he's
remember
and he's
Oh,
him.
of
talking
course.
about that, and I love that. I see Bud Soda is like, I'm back at a W-2. I like that, but I still do the gig work because obviously he Bud Soda's still seeing some benefits from it, right? So, and then I see somebody crazy like Kevin that who knows, he's just gonna start being mad and angry about who knows what else, and he'll start yelling or screaming in a minute. But my point
320
is,
bucks in
we
2 days.
all we all come to this line of work because we make it work for us, right? Part time, full time, whether you need to make $100 a day or $300 a day, like we all see some level of benefit from doing the same kind of work, and I think there's a lot of value in that. I like to have the different perspectives. Let me kick it real quick to my man Kevin before we go back to mindset. Kevin, what do you got going on in Florida? How's your world? How you living? What's going on with you, man?
That's good, all right. I'm just chilling. Yeah, I actually made $221.40. Today when I flipped on Instacart, I looked
Nice.
and they had a $80 guaranteed, at least $80 guaranteed bats for doing six batches.
Mm-hmm.
So I did six of those small batches, and I ended up getting like the just over $50 in promo. So yeah, and another thing too is I would say this find an area. Once you get there, wherever you are, map it out a 5 mile radius, and I would just ping pong in that area. Now you see set. Now I'll tell you one thing about going long distance. Grubhub. I think it was the Monday before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I dropped out this nice little Uber Eat order, and I saw this Grubhub 71 something. Going about picking up from Papa John's, and it was going to be like between 15, 16 miles. I looked at it. I'm like, hell yeah. I was amazed. I was like, wow, Grubhub.
I mean, sometimes, this kind of work, like, sometimes it's about being lucky too. You wake up, you see a good promo, you wake up, you gotta, right now, my phone could go off for an expedite order tomorrow for $100. It's not likely, but it's possible, right? So, like, sometimes you're just lucky. You just have the right apps, and sometimes you have the right mindset. Like Manny, you got the right hustle. You're noticing trends about how DoorDash is shifting. So I know, you know what? It's changing. Let me ride that wave. So I think it's this kind of work is, it's easy, but it's interesting in how things can be very fluid and different for a lot of us. But Manny, I'll kick it to you, man. What else you got on your plate? Anything else you want to share?
No, that's basically what I was trying to hit at too. I was gonna say that you do have to adapt. This is no one's talking about the fact that they had to refigure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you were talking the other day, like you were saying, oh, some people days, say that Sunday is a bad day and it's a good day for you. Well, that's changed for me. Now Sundays are the most profitable days that I have. My Sundays consistently for the last 4 weeks, and that's another thing I tell people that I do my numbers. I don't everything I'm saying. For the last 3 weeks, my Sunday was the most profitable day. Today I made 280. Last week it was 260. The week before that I had like a 240, 245. And it's because I stopped early. So what I'm saying to you is like I realized like, dang, even my good day has changed.
Yeah.
And I even make that money in less time on a Sunday. And it's like, whoa. So it's different. Monday and it's I have 3 slow days now, not just 2. It was Monday used to be okay. Monday slow, Tuesday slow. It picks up for me now, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. My Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday now, it's changed. And no one's talking about how they had to adapt or change. Everyone, and like I said, if you with the glitch, it takes. I don't have issues with the app no more. Like I don't. I'm not mad. Like I'm not. Like that's all I can say. Other than that, your like I said, I was watching your videos. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure. I was just saying, like, no one's talking about how the app has changed, and we all pretty much have the same thing now. It may be market dependent, but I realized like no one's talking about the range. Like this thing has changed. Like all of that, you think you got to sit in front of the store? No, you don't. And it does know you. Like I can be far away from where I normally, but when I'm on my way there, it's giving me from where I normally be.
Sure. Yeah. Well, you know
It's
what's funny, Manny? I don't have the
I know.
answer. I don't have like the answer to know. I don't make the software, but
No,
I'll
what I'm
say
saying,
this.
I'm very consistent and I'm very accurate. And that's one thing.
So
I'm very like, I
there's
go to the same area every day. I do the same thing. I wake up 7 o'clock every day. So it's very easy for me to see subtleties in little, because I'm monitor, my stores have changed. Like I was saying, like it's crazy. It's crazy. That's all
yeah,
I want to say.
there's
Like it's different. It's way different now.
there's
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
there's
both
two
y'all.
reasons for that, Manny. Is because the algorithm has learned you, and it depends what
Bingo.
part of programs you're in.
Yep.
Then the other is your customer rating. So whoever 5-star you, it's in that base algorithm that you keep getting rematched with them. So even if you're quote outside your area and not in your zone, the app realizes that, oh, here's a customer that 5-starred him. Let's give it to Manny because he takes good care of them and that customer likes him.
Yeah.
Yep.
It might be true because I go to the same area every day. I do the same thing every day, constantly.
Manny, to Bud Soda's point, right?
This got revealed in DoorDash Red a couple years ago.
I think a lot of us are like what I consider to be a market of one. What I mean by that is when you are on any app, when you are accepting or declining or getting a thumbs up from a merchant or a thumbs down or a thumbs up from a customer or a thumbs down or you're thumbsing up the delivery on DoorDash, you know how you can leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down, like you're giving it data and information about what you like, don't like, what you're good at, what you're bad at, your shopper score, your speed. Instacart has a speed score, right? You're in some ways your habits and your actions and your behaviors are showing the algorithm who you are. And I believe the algorithm does reward you. Hold on, it does reward you or it punishes you based on your behavior and what you accept and decline.
So I've done Zoom calls with them, and they pulled up my stats and said, "Oh, we see you love shopping, man. It's like you're a heavy shopper." And it's
so
like,
why wouldn't
DoorDash has those analytics on hand.
So then obviously, if it knows that you're a good shopper and that you like it, and that when we send you a shop order of $20 and plus, most of the time, 99% of the time, you accept it and there's no issues. They're going to send you that versus where maybe Kevin doesn't like it or he's bad at it. Of course, they're going to send that to your interface versus Kevin.
Well, with the way the glitching goes, right? I can't say that. What I can't say as far as like you're saying, what it knows what I like to accept, decline, because the way I glitch is not how do you say it does not okay. The way I glitch is I only accept the top of the hour and the half an hour. That's the only time I'm accepting rides. I'm not accepting a ride in between. So if I drop off a ride, I'm pretty much not gonna accept a ride unless it's at the half. So if I drop off a ride at 6:15, right? If I drop it off, I'm going glitching until 6:30.
Oh, we lost him. We lost him.
He glitched. He glitched.
He glitched. He was talking about the glitch and he glitched. That's funny. Hold up. He's back. Hold up. Let me bring him up. There he is.
Sorry. I'm going glitching until 6:30. So what I mean was, so I will decline anything. I don't care what it is. I don't care what the screen shows me. I'll decline it. So that's what I'm trying to say. Mine is a little inaccurate with that part, like because at the top of the hour, whatever it sends me at the top of the hour is what I have a selection of taking. You see what I'm saying? So it's not so much as I'm looking for a pizza or I'm looking for this store or this. No, at 7 o'clock, I'm looking for whatever it sends me, and I peep, and that's what the glitching allows you. You can go and say, okay, let me see what this one is offering. Let me see what that one is offering. So in the top of the hours, I do that to maximize the glitch with the profit. So I don't take anything unless it's profitable. Period. I don't care.
Well, that should be all of us, yeah.
But what I'm saying is, and the glitch, because of my AR is so high, I don't fret about declining until I get a good one. And we all know that the top of the hour, minute hour is pretty much the times where you're gonna find one. Yeah. So if there's one to get, you'll find it. And that's what's been accurate for me from henceforth. It has been very accurate. Okay. 5 minutes before, 5 minutes after, and the hours. Like, those little sweet little spots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I pay, and how I do it, judge it. Look at the peak pay. Peak pay always go 1 minute before the top of the hour, right? You know, 1 minute before the full hour, right? it never goes right because it's giving out orders at that. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You
Well,
get
you know,
so
listen, we talked about that glitch thing a couple years ago, and it was a big thing on YouTube. Basically, for about 2 months, it was the biggest thing in the geek community. And I had people on and panelists, and we were arguing. And the reason once I found out that it was back working, because I left DoorDash and then came back, I was like, I'm just going to share it because I think it might be helpful for some people. So I'm happy to see you having some whatever success you're having from it and learning how to work the market and the timing of it. If you're making more money, for me, if drivers are making more money and having to work less or drive less or work less hours, that's a win. And I want as many of us to win as possible because I do believe there's
I'll
enough
say
money out there
this.
for all of us.
I'll say this. It's January slowdown. So I can't I can't judge it right off hand because it's up and down. Like I said, my market has shifted. So my money, it kind of shifts. I'm learning. What I mean by that is like I haven't had a outbreak week, but I've had outbreak days. And then it's like, huh? And then it's like, okay, so where I thought I should have been, I'm learning it. So what I'm saying is, but I see the biggest potential. Forget about the glitch. I'm saying that within the DoorDash app, even individuals that reach platinum and wherever they reach it, you see a difference in how it sends you orders, what orders it sends you, and the amount of money. And like I told you, they have DoorDash catering and then they have catering as well. That's what I'm trying to say. You have those little, this is a DoorDash catering, and then you have it's like a expedite catering order through DoorDash. You get me? Where they give you the extra money for the setup and all of that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
There's a lot of different ways on all these apps, man, and we just gotta share the information,
No,
make it useful, So
but
all
like
good
expedite slowed down, but now it's picking up back again. It was slowed down the first few. It slowed down big time for me. And now
Expedite even sent us in the app talking about this is a slow couple of weeks, the volume, because companies are on vacation, it's the holidays, and
it's slowed way down. But
we'll start to
now
see the volume go back up a little bit to normal.
it's doing it. It's sending them to me. I'm getting Bing. It's like, I'm like, okay, even on the weekends now, because my weekends had gone dead. Like it won't send me from Thursday to I won't get another Bing till Monday. So it's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I won't get anything. So now it's changed. But I would just, and you can't mind me because I keep a positive mindset at all times with all things I do. Life in general. So it's hard for me when you're talking to me about anything, like I'm never gonna be going, it's bad, it's not good. Man, you shouldn't. It's not. I'm always the one going, but what made it that way? Okay, let's figure. Oh, that's okay. So then okay, that's what we have to do to make that better. So let's do that. Yep. So that's just how I am. I'm always glass half full. Things are, so that's always going to be my approach to this, and I look at things from outside perspectives and I bring them in this. So I don't put it, nothing's a burden here. Like I told you, my background with this. So it's like, I'm very comfortable with the gig economy. It's just DoorDash right now is the one that's on top. Instacart and Spark are two apps that can work in your favor, just as like DoorDash does in someone else's or whatever. You know what I mean? Absolutely, it's just I just haven't picked those two up because I realized like it's just a trade-off to me. If I was gonna do Instacart, it's a trade-off from Door. It's like okay, I'm just gonna make the same amount of money on Instacart that I do with Door. I just switched the app. You see what I'm saying? Because it's gonna have you pushing it, on that app.
Sorry, I'm hearing you. I just had to change something real quick. But no, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%, man. I think, what's funny is,
like, if I switch to Uber Eats, it's not like I'm going to make significant more money than I would make on DoorDash. It's just going to be my main app making the same money I would have made. So that's why I don't jump to another, it's like now expedite, like I said, because it's way larger. Like you were saying, you can get $100. That changes the aspect of your whole day. It has 100%. Already for me. Yeah, 100%. It has. I've gotten $150 a day on expedite without even doing DoorDash yet. So and when a couple of DoorDash, it made the whole difference. So with the Expedite app, it's way different. That's it's totally different when you use different apps that make upwards of 50 and 60
Yeah,
bucks. You know what I mean?
it completely changes your mindset and how you look
Yeah,
at the day. It's a different way of doing it. But it's interesting. You said you used the word comfortable a couple of minutes ago, right? I
yes.
think a lot of us,
I'll catch you
I
guys later.
all right, Kevin, see you, man. I've been there
Woohoo.
too. You get comfortable with the money we're making. We're having a good week. We're doing this. We're doing that. I think he's trying to bounce out. But for me, when I would get comfortable, that's actually the time that I was also still looking for other opportunities, right? Because because we can get comfortable, and I'm not talking to you directly. This is just generally speaking because I've learned this for myself, right? We get comfortable making $200 or whatever. I think for a lot of full timers, that's kind of like a benchmark number. I'll just use that out there, right? $200, right? But when we get comfortable and we get comfortable making that, we're paying our bills. Like I always was trying to figure out, okay, how do I get to 225? How can I get into 250? Like it's there. If we add in other avenues of revenue, passive income, another act like Expedite or whatever, right? Because for me, when I got comfortable, that's when I always knew. This is from an old boss I used to work with, right? I managed restaurants for a long time. And he used to always tell me, hey, when everything's going good, when you feel like you got your staffing right, hire two more people. Like when you feel comfortable, that's good. But that's also when you have to think about, okay, well, what's the next thing that I'm kind of either chasing or trying to get better at? You know what I mean? And for me, I love to see gig workers having any level of success, however that means for them. But I always challenge us and even myself, like when I'm comfortable, that's when I also, okay, like what's the next thing? Because it's very fluid. We could have a great January, and then for some of us, maybe February is going to go to shit for whatever reasons. Personally, a car goes down. Just the market dries up. Something happens. A bad snowstorm, and it impacts your how you can go out and earn. Or maybe there's a day or two when you can't because the apps are off. So like when I'm comfortable, that's when I'm like, all right, well, hold up. I'm making this money. How can I incrementally like make just a little bit more, add another $20 to my day that covers my fuel cost so my profits are better. Like that's how I look at my comfortability. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Now, and that makes perfect sense. That's the mindset. That's how
Yeah.
you grow. That's where you should always be, looking for the next dollar. You know what I mean? One and we should all do that, especially when we feel as though we're getting comfortable. And
Yeah.
but I just wanted to make it clear that when I was speaking and saying comfortable, I was saying with the line of work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
very comfortable with gig work in itself. The hustle behind it, having to understand things, looking at getting the hustle and bustle, getting in and out of your car, whether it may be Roadie, DoorDash, Instacart, Spark, Amazon. I'm saying to you that I'm my mindset. I'm very comfortable with being the go getter type. You
You're
get what I'm
you're
saying?
you're finding. It sounds like, and I love to see the growth from you. Like I don't want to. I hope you don't feel like I'm picking on you when I say stuff like that. But like when you came on this channel 3 months ago, right? You knew what you knew about the one app, but now
Yeah.
you've expanded the mindset to a little bit more. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
And I love that for you because obviously you're either making more money in less time or good money in the same time, but maybe the mileage is the same or maybe it's down. But if your
It's less
profits are up,
stressful, less stressful.
okay, less
Also,
stressful.
more opportunity.
Yeah,
Like we were just speaking on, there are some days, like I've had days with this, where the Expedite app take over. I can only do an evening shift. Make that little $60 in the evening shift with my dashing because I've already made $160, hundred and
exactly. So
seventy
then it
bucks,
takes away the stress of being, oh fuck, I gotta go out and do this. I
and
gotta
and
sit. I gotta wait. Because when you have a $60 cash flow, $100 cash flow, oh, I got a $40 cash flow. A $40 expedite might not. That's normal for me, but that's
that's
a banger on DoorDash, right?
yeah,
When
and that's
you know,
that's
so So if you can add in just a few more bangers a week on any app, that you start to hit that flow state, that
And that's where
comfortability.
I'm,
You're hitting a
and that's
little
why
bit of
I'm
a
trying to get
flow of
where
the
you
work.
are.
So
Where that's why I'm trying to get where you are
no,
on
no better than me,
expedite
bro.
as far as
You could do
no,
more.
I'm saying
Trust
as
me.
far as the Ford diamonds on expedite, because
Mhm.
it gives you more opportunity to see orders that early, and I feel as though your opportunities of getting a breakfast, lunch, and dinner order on expedite, 2 times out the week would
Yeah,
be phenomenal. You know what I mean? To
absolutely,
get
man.
those
Absolutely.
triple bangers on expedite and be like, yeah.
I'm telling you, man. I was late to the game on the catering. I was late to the game because I was comfortable with DoorDash. I had back and forth with certain people. Like, I don't need catering, or I'm good with DoorDash. But once I kind of put my pride and ego down, I'm like, hold on, let me try this because maybe there's something here. And I don't have a catering every single day, but like I did one yesterday, $54 an hour. That's easy money. That's easy money. I don't care who you are, like $54 for 1 hour of time. That's good money. That's good money,
Very
right?
good
And we
money.
should all try to have as many hours of our output be equal to that, because the more of those kind of days you can have in your week, it makes the hours when you're not making a lot, it evens it out, and it makes
And
the end of
that's
the week look okay. So
and that is what I'm ultimately doing. What I'm doing at this moment in time is I'm trying to get on the Skip Cart app. And what I'm doing now is I'm transitioning to all the apps that, like, no offense, that are more profitable than the $5 and $6 ones.
sure,
So
yeah,
since
yeah,
expedite opened my eyes, like we were just talking, when that happened, it really was, I was like, oh my goodness. So I'm trying to go to Skip Cart, so that's another app that will give me a $40 or $50. Maybe give me one or two. I'm going to go to what is it, Roadie? I'm gonna so I can
Brody.
have about 5 or 6. Maybe they give me one, but I got 5 opportunities that will equal five, maybe 350 in a day because I got 5 offers. You see, little management, but you get what I'm saying. So I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to do. If I can get 4 $40 orders in a day and then do something, So
Yeah, yeah.
and everyone in Spark has been lighting up. I'm about to jump on the Spark bandwagon.
Hey man, get out. Listen, you know
Spark
what? You know what? You
is
know what's interesting?
going nuts right now, boy.
Try it, because you know what's interesting, at least in St. Louis, and I think St. Louis, it's a
Spark is
medium size,
going nuts.
it's a medium sized city, but I think there's a lot of similarities in my city to others, right? So I think it's a good like benchmark of like what's normal. I really believe that. And going and talking to people around the country, going and working in other cities, I think it's a good benchmark. I say that because there's so much like fluidity within the gig work, right? Your January, February, and March months, those 3 months, their earnings could be about the same as, let's say, June, July, August, but how it feels and what apps you use could be completely different, right? Completely different, especially if you're somewhere where you have 4 different seasons. I have 4 seasons. It's hella cold in St. Louis, snowstorm last week, 5 degrees tomorrow, but then by Sunday it'll be in the 40s. The behavior patterns of consumers changes based on weather, based on a lot of different factors, right? So for me, I understand. I look at my year as quarters. January, February, March, April, May, June. Like I look at it like that because I know the Roadie app and the Curry app is going to hit more in the spring and the summer because businesses are going to be building again and painters are going to need their paint and their hardware because they're outside doing work. And I know that the food delivery apps are going to be hitting when it's cold because nobody wants to leave their house. But then I also know other apps are going to hit in the summertime because the people's patterns change. So I think when you start to learn your marketplace and what the people and the consumers in your marketplace, how they spend their money and what apps to utilize at what time of the day, that's when you hit that flow state, and that's when you can make $200. Should not be hard. So I always kind of like, it always blows my mind when people are like, gig work's dead and I can't do it anymore. I honestly, I'm going to continue to challenge that narrative because I just think you've either given up or you haven't adapted enough, and you got comfortable failing. I think there are a lot of people that get comfortable in the failure and they wear that as a badge of honor, like, oh, I just can't do this anymore because because I had a bad month or I had a bad week, or I watched this DoorDash video and he says it sucks, so I gotta believe that. I think we have to, when we get comfortable, okay, that's when you should be trying to make more and do more, and
And
not
that's the
just be comfortable with the failure. Be comfortable with your success and try to continue to go up, because I think
and
this kind of gig work is not going to end. It's going to continue to grow. It's not what it was in 2020, 2021, because then it was food delivery. You can make a lot of money with just food delivery. Now those days are behind, but I think the people that are still doing good have tried different things, and that's we have to be following the people that are actually having success versus the ones that are just talking about the failures all the time, you know?
but that's why I come on and give my opinion, because
Yeah.
when you search the web, it's a lot of negativity. Everyone's always talking about how you can't do it. Oh, this is the worst stuff. Oh, gig work's dead. Bump DoorDash. And I'm not saying you're going to get rich, but I just come on to give a perspective of saying yes, you can do it. Here's an example of a person that can do it. Here's that's it. I'm just straight up, and that's why I used to come on and be so adequate about when you were saying, like you seen I've grown. I was just so adamant about one app and only DoorDashing, because everyone was going like you can't make it. I was like, no, that's why my name is Mindset, because it's not DoorDash. I could go on any platform. That's why I made sure I said that. Instacart, I could do it on Instacart. I could be diamond on Instacart. It's just another app.
Yeah.
Uber, it could be whatever it is on Uber Eats. You get me? It's not like it's the mindset. You have to go out here, get it, figure it out, know when these apps hit, know, like you were just saying. That's what you have to figure out to be, successful out here.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to talk about, though, you were talking about that legislation, man. As far as with the California thing, and how people were feeling about that, that guy standing up for those gig workers, feeling
But
like
that's
he's
in
going.
hold up. That you said Cali, but it's in New York City.
I'm in New York. My bad.
Yeah.
My
It's
bad.
okay.
New
No, you're
York.
good.
But you were referencing the both of them, like
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was saying that, in my opinion on that, is it's great that someone is coming after those bigger companies. It's always good when people are doing that. Standing up for them getting over. Period. You know what I'm saying? And it just so happened to be in this field that we're in.
Yeah.
Um um he, like you say, I don't care about his personal beliefs or nothing like that, but him doing that's a great thing.
Absolutely.
Um
Absolutely. 100%.
Legislation, when he was, if they're forcing DoorDash to be straight, yes. You know what I mean? Yes, I'm all for that. But I don't want them, I don't want them to be regulated as far as going this amount of pay, this amount, you need to be on this amount. I don't want that. But
Yeah.
if he's making them, hey, we're peeping into your business to make sure you're treating people right. Hey, let's do that. Let's do that.
We always need that, and I think the labor force in this country has in most part the labor force has been manipulated and mistreated by a lot of corporations, and you do need regulation and legislation is the only way to fix that. And sometimes you have to force a company's hand to say you can't treat a human being like that. So the guy in New York City, regardless of what we believe, or that he's standing up for people, many, he's literally standing up, he's one of one for people that do the work that we do, right? So for me, I'm going to champion that all day long because we need more of that, and I don't see how we wouldn't want that. I want the New York City drivers to feel like they're more respected and to have better pay, and I want them to have success. I want that for them, I do. And some might agree or disagree and they look at it differently, and that's okay. I'm just saying, for me, when I see people being taken advantage of and somebody wants to help that person out, I'm always for that, man. And if that means me making a little bit less or something, I'm okay with that too. Hot take, but at the end of the day, a lot of us have way more than we need. So I think we need to shift some things in this country, but that's for a whole nother podcast. That's we don't need to talk about that now. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man,
Yeah.
listen, I thought I'd do about an hour tonight. We're over it. I appreciate you coming on and dropping some updates on what you're seeing, and your thought
But
process and
number one
opinions.
thing I want to tell everybody: when you glitch at night, like I'm gonna do when we get off this phone. I glitch all night. I glitch before I go to work. No, I glitch right before I go to work. I make sure my range is between 80 and 90. That way I have a nice cushion. You can glitch all the way down to you not glitch, but you can decline all the way down to like 30. But I keep it high just so I have that cushion. And your maximum hours are 7:30, 6 o'clock. Right around 8 o'clock, you're gonna get. It'll be nice for you. You guys should try
Hey man,
it.
to each his own. But hey man, Manny, I'm sure I'll see you again, man. Have a great week. Be safe
You
and
do the same, man.
happy earning, man. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
All right.
All right, good show. We started the show off with my friend Yost Malone. I've met Yost. Yost is a super cool dude, dropping some of that tax information, knowledge, and his firsthand perspective and information about the tax credit. 20, you get a tax credit up to 25,000 of your tips can be untaxable income. So it lowers your total taxable income up to 25,000 if the 25,000 is tips. So do your own research on that. But he shared that with us, and I appreciate Bud Soda, Manny, and Kevin for popping on. Appreciate Nebraska. Dash in Nebraska had a $300 day. He's in the chat. Everybody say what's up to Dash in Nebraska. He dropped a $20 super chat before the live even started. Thank you for that very much. When I do these lives, don't make a lot of money on them. I don't do it for that. I do it just because I enjoy them. I enjoy getting different perspectives. I know a lot of you guys like the chat. You can ask questions, share your perspective. Some of you guys come on the show. Kevin has been on the show probably, I don't know, at least 20, 30 times. Bud Soda probably the same. Manny's probably been on 5, 6 times. So I always appreciate just ending the week with you guys in that way when I can. So I appreciate the love, the support, the thumbs up. Anybody out there that's working, I know many of you, Ceci even referenced it and many others. It's cold out there. There's still snow on the ground in many places. Drive safe. Sometimes it's not about even like what you're doing, but being or how you're driving. You could drive safe, but somebody else might not be. But you also just have to be aware of your surroundings and looking out for people. It's when it gets cold, people get cranky. It's a different kind of season in these cold weather markets right now. So be safe. Don't take any trash. I know a lot of us get thirsty. It happens, but like try to keep some kind of measure of boundary with what you want to take. Because sometimes being a little bit patient, even when it's slow, can benefit you. Okay, take things that are profitable, make good choices, make good money. And I'll end with this. I'll land the plane with this. If you're home or if you're sitting in your car, you're doing your work, if you're about to see somebody soon, if you're around somebody that you love, friends, family, whatever, give them a hug, tell them that you love them. It might be just the thing that they needed to hear today, and that might make you feel a little bit good as well. Be kind to everybody. See y'all on the next live. Peace.